Have you ever heard a song that so accurately depicts the way you feel about a certain game or the franchise of that game, like to the T? That's exactly how I feel about this song you're listening to right now from Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. It's the theme that plays when you go to the ruined Alchemath area. The feeling that I get when I listen to this song reminds me of the creepy, the scary, and like mysterious feeling I get of a lot of the like what I call space horror that is within Xeno as a franchise. It's sometimes funny that a lot of the things from the outside in on the Xenoblade franchise seems like fantasy. It seems like mythical and fantastical, but really it's just science. At least that's how the Xeno franchise always, makes it appear. It's just science. It's creepy, mysterious space science, which doesn't really, I don't know, it's hard for me to explain sometimes, but I call it space horror because in a way, like, it's creepy. Like, the Zohar, the conduit, like, in my eyes, is kind of creepy and mysterious, and like, yeah, we know how it works, but it's kind of like this omnipotent force that is a little bit almost like not out of our control, but more like hard to understand, hard to fully wrap your head around. And in my opinion, it's kind of creepy. I think a lot of the Xeno series has these elements. But specifically talking about Future Connected, when you first get to ruined Alchemath, and like all you know is that there's this Fog King that is, no attacks are working on it, you don't know what it is, you don't know what you're up against, and then all you see is a rift. You see a rift. This song perfectly encapsulates like the feeling of mystery, the feeling of being unnerved by something that you don't have answers to. You don't know what this is. And really, I mean, it's kind of inconsequential. I mean, it's just something that I feel about this game. And if you only know me by this channel, you probably don't know that I'm a huge Xenoblade fan. Like, Monolith Soft is my favorite video game company right now. The Xenoblade franchise is my favorite, like, game franchise of all time right now. And like, yeah, I haven't played Gears or Saga. I plan to get around to it, but like, as much as I know about Xenosaga and Xenogears, like, my feelings on the Xenoblade series in terms of its like space, like science themes seem to be pretty prevalent between all of them. But yeah, I don't know, it's like a little bit inconsequential because it's just something that I feel, and I don't know many people that can sympathize with me on that. But so now onto the second part of this video, which is about the future of Xenoblade Chronicles. Tetsuya Takahashi, who is the CEO of Monolith Soft and has worked on all of the Xeno games in a pretty major role. In the Definitive Works art book that came with the special edition of Definitive Edition, he said something very interesting about Future Connected. I'm going to read it now. When it comes to new elements, the biggest addition is a region not finished in time for the original game, the Biona Shoulder, which sets the stage for the game's new story scenario, Future Connected. Much like Torna, the Golden Country added to the main game of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Future Connected focuses on the character and story of Melia after the events of the main scenario come to a close. Why Melia and not Fiora run Ryan, Dunban, Charla, and Ricky, you might ask? Well, that's because this scenario isn't simply a new story to be told, but a way of stone of sorts, pointing towards the future. The events that take place and the words spoken by the characters in Future Connected are linked to the future of Xenoblade Chronicles itself. It's our hope at Monolith that as you experience this new scenario, you'll enjoy dreaming of what sort of future that might be. To all of you who have been with us since the Xenoblade series began, and to those of you starting your journey with us, we hope the possibilities for the future of Xenoblade Chronicles inspire you as you play. So, cool. The most interesting part to me of this paragraph is the sentence, the events that take place and the words spoken by the characters in Future Connected are linked to the future of Xenoblade Chronicles itself. That is very interesting. It's interesting because when I was playing through Future Connected, I knew about this. I knew that Tetsuya Takahashi said this, right? So by the end of it, I was expecting to see something more like obvious, I guess. Almost in a way of like Kingdom Hearts, the way they do their secret endings. It's like pretty obvious that this is for like a little teaser of the next game. But it's not obvious in Future Connected. At least I don't think it's super obvious. But like it's such an interesting line that I love this because it's mysterious, and it also makes you like when you play the game, it really makes you want to like listen to what the characters are saying and seeing if there's a different meaning in it. But anyway, that's not it. I was playing Future Connected yesterday, and I was trying to get all of the quiet moments finished because I had finished the base story, and there's something quite interesting that I found. So what I found was a quiet moment, or like a heart-to-heart, called "The Future Is Ours." It's in the Ruined Alchemoth, right in front of the mural between the Bionis and the Mechonis. And Melia says something so unbelievably interesting. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is what she says.
Does it bother you? The rift, I mean.
I have an ill premonition.
Oh?
Disaster. Complete ruin. Inescapably looming over our future. I know not why, but that is the vague dread that I feel when I consider the rift.
Hey now.
I'm sorry.
So Melia says that in regards to the rift, that she has this ill premonition, disaster, complete ruin, inescapably looming over our future. The instant I heard that, I almost like instantly, it was like, that seems so unbelievably intentional. Like, this has to, I don't know, maybe I'm seeing something where there is nothing, but like, from what Tetsuya Takahashi said, where the words spoken and the events that take place within Future Connected lead, or like give like a glimpse to the future of Xenoblade Chronicles itself, what Melia says right there seems so intentional by the developers that like, in some ways, the rift that is in Future Connected is going to play a role in the next Xenoblade game. Because here's the thing. At the end of Future Connected, right? Like, yeah, we destroy the Fog King, the rift goes away because Telethia, jump into it. And that's kind of it. But I don't really think it is it. We don't figure out, like, we don't know what the Fog King is. We don't know what the rift is, right? Like, these are still mysteries that haven't been solved. We don't know what they are. And this, like, ill premonition that she says, that Melia says she has, disaster, complete ruin, inescapably looming over our future, like, directly caused by this rift. Like, I don't know, it seems too intentional to like not mean something, specifically because of what Takahashi said. Like, if Tetsuya Takahashi didn't say what he said in the art book about Future Connected, I wouldn't be thinking too much into it. But like, this sentence, these couple sentences that Melia says are very intriguing. Very intriguing. I'm thinking for the future of Xenoblade itself is what Tetsuya Takahashi said. And whether that means a Xenoblade Chronicles 3, or if that means a Xenoblade Chronicles Cross 2 or X2, however you say it, I think the rift that appears in Future Connected will play a large part in the future of, or in that next game. I don't know, to what extent, obviously, because it's not out, but like, this line is so interesting that she says, almost like, it's almost like the developers like actively telling you like what the next game is about. It's so interesting. Now, obviously, I'm not like the other Xenoblade channels that like knows every inch of every detail of Xenoblade, right? I haven't even played all the games in the Xeno franchise, but I don't know. I just wanted to get my opinions out because it's like, the instant I heard it, I'm like, this is so interesting. It's like the developers literally like telling you straight up that the rift that appears in Future Connected is going to be like directly tied to the events that happen in the next game. It's just so interesting. It's so mysterious because it's like, again, yeah, like we don't know really anything about the rift. It's probably a space-time rift, right? And then I saw some theories that the Fog King is like Genosis from Xenosaga, but like truly like a definitive answer, like we don't know anything about what the rift is or what the Fog King is, and it's like, that's super interesting. And then I was thinking about it, I'm like, that's really interesting, we still don't know what this is. And then I watched this quiet moment and Melia says that exactly about the rift, and it's just like, it seems too like obvious to not be something. I guess we'll see, obviously, right? I could be completely wrong, but I don't know. I'm so excited to see like where Xenoblade goes, what they decide to do with it, whether the next game or the next game that comes out that they've been working on since like when Torna released, I think, whether that is the next Xenoblade game. I'm kind of hoping it is, or if it's that new IP that people are saying is coming. I don't know, but either way, I am so unbelievably stoked about the future of Xenoblade, more so than I already was. Yeah. Sorry for this. This is kind of rambly. I didn't write a script for this just because I wanted it to be kind of more off the cuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.